Alright, welcome ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to be doing today is hopefully adding audio and showing you how to register for DeltaMath.com as a geometry student of mine. So this is the DeltaMath website. A lot of benefits to it, a lot of improvements over some things that we've maybe been using in the past. I think it'll be good for us. So bear with us as we get set up with it. But this is the website we're going to be using. I've used this for a number of years. You can see up at the top, it's just DeltaMath.com. And you're going to go on and you're going to come to this screen here that you see in front of you. Now, what you'll notice about this is that in the top right corner, there's a little tab that says Create Account, and you're going to click on Student. Now you need a teacher code to join. My teacher code is 764336, and you're going to see my name up here, Mr. Hurt. Now the first thing you need to do is select which class of mine you have. So if you're in geometry, you're going to select geometry. We're section 11 at our school. So you're going to put your first and last name in. Now for the username, this could really be anything you want. Okay, but keep it simple and make sure it's something that you're going to remember. Okay, now in the end here, I'm making it JHurt Geometry, simply because I have a few other student accounts that I've created just to create other demo videos for some of my other classes. Okay, so I'm putting in a password. I chose something like Math Rocks. I can promise you that if you forget your password, I will most likely change your password to Math Rocks. But I do have that ability to go in and change your password should you need it or you get locked out. So just contact me and reach out if you need that information. I'm happy to provide that for you. So then you're going to sign in. So you're going to type in all that information. I know it says email in that top piece, but you don't need an email for this. You can just simply do it with your username that you create. So you put in your information, you click login, and it will take you to the next screen. Okay, so here we are on the next screen, and you're going to see on the left upcoming assignments. It tells you that you have an assignment called Introduction to SOHCAHTOA, and it has a due date, April 5th at 11:59 p.m. Okay, and it has identifying trig ratios. Now what we're seeing up at the top here, there is in the top right a graphing calculator and a scientific calculator button. So we do have those options. You can see right next to the word tools, there's what looks like a calculator, and that will give you option to either calculator. Now, it's really nice because for assignments here, you get the due dates. Now, I know it's not integrated with Google Classroom, but trust me here, there's a lot of questions on, did I submit? I know I did it. It didn't say in Google Classroom that it was completed. Here, it's going to tell you exactly whether it's completed or not as you do each question. So if you click on that assignment there, Introduction to SOHCAHTOA and the identifying trig ratios, this is the first question that's going to pop up. Now, it's going to tell you how many you've gotten right. It's going to tell you your score, so what you've gotten, and then it's going to tell you if there's a penalty or not if you get it wrong. So on this one, there's no penalty if you get it wrong. The idea with these DeltaMath assignments, at least how we're starting with them, is that the goal is to get 10 questions correct for this one. If you need to do 17 questions to get 10 correct, then you need to do 17 questions. If you need to do 10 to get 10 correct, great. If you need more, though, you can do more questions and still get the same credit. So I think you'll like this. I mean, you're going to have to put in the work. I'm going to show you in the next video how to actually solve a question like this. But what you can see is that there's a lot of different ways to go about this, but the best way, and I'll show you in the next video, is with paper and pencil and actually draw out what we're doing, show your work so that you can go through. Now, so a question pops up. It asks us to solve. Now what I did was I just went back to the assignment. So by going back to the assignment, I could show you a few more things over here. So again, I can click back in. I can leave that assignment as many times as I need to. It will save my place. It'll save where I am. This is something we didn't have with those Google questions that I was giving you the last few weeks. So this is going to be an added benefit. If you need to stop, lunch, dinner, breakfast, whatever time you're working on it, you get called away, someone else in your family needs to borrow the computer, there's just something else going on, whatever it is, you can always come back and you know that you'll be right where you left off. Okay. Now, what I like about DeltaMath is going to tell me how long you've been working on a question, meaning that I'm going to know who's using the program like PhotoMath. Not that PhotoMath works on a question like this, but I'm going to know who's been using PhotoMath, because I'm going to be able to see. When you answer a question in 6 seconds, it's just, nope, sorry. No one can answer a question that quickly. But if you answer the question in 2-3 minutes, great. And this allows me to see, who's been working for, well, they're spending 10-15 minutes on a question, still not getting it right. That's the kind of person I could say, okay, I need to have some conversations with as a student, what's going on. There's some kind of disconnect here. Now, what's nice is they do have an example. So on the top right of that question, there was a link to, show example. And it actually shows you, in some ways, how to solve the question. Now, I've been making videos walking you through the work, but if you get stuck on something, it's just another resource that you can go to for how do I solve that question. Okay, so for show example, you can just click that show example link and you'll be able to put that in there. So again, you've got your answer. You can put that answer in. You can go with that answer, and you can submit your answer. Now, when you do submit an answer, you'll see it in the next video, but it's always going to ask you, are you sure? It's just to make sure you didn't typo, you didn't mess up. Now, with these, there's no units that you're going to put in, okay? So if the answer is 3 centimeters, just put in 3, okay? Don't worry about units. But it should be pretty self-explanatory, and again, I'll show you how to put in answers in the next video. And that should be pretty beneficial to you. It's really a great site. It does randomize the questions. So what that means is that if you ask, so-and-so, what'd you get for DeltaMath question number 5? Well, they had different numbers than you, okay? They're not going to be the same question. They're going to be the same idea. They're going to be the same subject. They're going to be the same topic, but the numbers and the different pieces of the question are going to be different. This is, again, to prevent cheating. Everyone's being tested, or not, I'm using the word tested, but you're being evaluated on, the topic at hand. But again, this program allows us, as we work remotely for the foreseeable future, to continue to learn, to continue to prep for that Regents, because again, that Regents is coming up, but it also allows us to practice our skills, and it allows me to make sure that everyone is working on what they need to be working on. Okay, so the final thing that I want to mention is that this DeltaMath website is going to be beneficial in the sense that you can do extra work. What do I mean by that? If you do 10 out of 10 questions, you can always go back and just say next question, and it will always give you more questions. So if you got 10 right, but you're still struggling, or we have a quiz coming up or a test coming up and you want to come back and practice, just hit next question. Even if you've completed the assignment, you could still do more. Okay, so this will always just generate new questions for you.